All right.
Hi, this is Radka Gimerova at Spark Your Balance Naturally, and I'm very happy to have here today, or now, we are going to interview Sian Lloyd, and she is the holistic health coach and content creator, really passionate especially about the topic of balance in our lives and balancing our mind and our body with the food and with the calm emotions and everything that we actually need for our self-care to prevent whatever burnouts and stuff like that. And besides that, I'm very happy to enjoy the sun today. So you see the joy already through my face. So this is life, how it goes now working from home. So Sian, hello. I'm very happy that you are here today with us.
Hello, Radka. Thank you so much for having me. It's so nice to be part of Spark Your Balance. What a lovely idea.
Yeah, thank you. So since this is really your topic as well, I would like to ask you, how would you define the balance in our lives?
Well, I mean, the modern world is so geared, it's like I keep seeing, as one saw this video of this hamster on a wheel, and it's running and running and running and running, and eventually it's so tired that eventually the wheel just keeps going and the hamster just keeps spinning, just lets go and then gets spat out onto the ground. And I just always think that's what it's like nowadays, and people seem to think that's the new normal. If they're not busy, they're not being productive and they're not doing enough. So it's created this sense of stress in the body and the mind. And I really think the balance piece is about finding that inner peace, and creating a life and an environment that actually feels good. It's not, it's not like health and living a wonderful life isn't about a to-do list. It's not about what you aren't doing and what you still need to do. It's actually about enjoying the moment, enjoying life, taking time to rest, to play, to have good conversations, to enjoy your food. It really is about that. And it's hard because you kind of think feeling good and resting and doing all these things is a waste of time. You need to get on the treadmill and do new recipes and achieve more and learn more and do more, and you're not really in the present enjoying life. So I think balance is often about getting back to yourself and back to the moment and taking a breath and actually enjoying what you already have.
Yeah, I really like that. And what do you say that is the most important? Where should we take care of ourselves, or how should we approach ourselves within the day to really keep not stressed and just enjoy our moments and have this balance?
Oh, well, I think it's very individual. And I think the first place to go is to actually ask yourself, what do I need to feel good? And I think, there are some basics that you can do, some really basic things like getting enough sleep. All these simple things people look over, but when you get enough sleep, your circadian rhythms, you kind of find your body gets more of a balance when you get enough sleep. It's not a waste of time having an extra hour sleep.
Yes.
But getting sleep, drinking water, eating whole foods, spending time in nature, all those things, they really do all come together in a beautiful way. So yeah, it's hard to actually say because everyone's so individual.
So for example, if you go from yourself, what would be your self-care tip? Maybe starting from the morning. You mentioned also a little bit about food. Is there anything that can help us right from the morning?
Yeah, so definitely the first thing I do every single day is I exercise.
Wow.
And yeah, every single, well, I take 2 days off, but sometimes I'll do yoga and things like that. But I make it a mission to move my body. So it might be going for a walk, or it might be doing some yoga, or maybe some body weight training or something. But it's less about trying to get fit and toned and that self-judgment piece. But it's more about like releasing tension from my body, activating my muscles, like just feeling alive. So I find in the morning it's so lovely to move your body. You've just been lying still in bed all night.
Yes.
And when you get up, like it's nice to get your body moving. Another thing is I make sure to drink like a big glass of water when I wake up, just to rehydrate my body. I have a really good, nutritious breakfast. And I know, like with people, you know, some people say you have to eat 6 more meals a day. Some say 3 meals. I don't think there is any right way. But I have found when you're trying to find balance, having a lovely, nutritious breakfast is really, really helpful, especially if you have one with whole foods, like whole grains. You know, I love having a big bowl of oats or some 100% rye bread with some eggs and spinach, and really like whole foods, because it basically sets your body up for the day. You know, when you're having things like processed foods and sugars and all that, while it's fine to have it every once in a while, it creates like sugar spikes in your blood, and you end up with things like cravings and mood swings and energy drops. So it creates that imbalance in the body. So when you eat whole foods like vegetables, nuts and seeds, whole grains, whole foods. It's like as simple as that. Is it a real food? Yes. Or is it in a box with weird ingredients, you know? If you eat whole foods, you know, you can never overdose on broccoli. You know what I mean?
That's true.
And you can still make it tasty, but I just feel like having that wholesome breakfast in the morning and really filling up is such a great way, because then I'm full till lunch, you know, instead of starting the day like up and down and up and down. I think that's really underrated, you know, and I think like people put so much pressure on themselves, like, oh, I'm never eating sugar again, I'm never drinking alcohol again, all of this stuff. But it's like, just focus on eating more whole foods and not on what you shouldn't do. And slowly they shift more and more into your life and create a healthier eating routine.
Yeah. So now when you're speaking about food and just being nice to ourselves, what do you say about the regular chocolate? Maybe within these times, especially when we need to spend more time at home, sometimes it happens that, oh, here is some chocolate or something nice I would like to take. What do you say about that?
Well, you know, that's the thing. It's like, I think, you know, when you are trying to eat healthy, of course, refined sugars are not ideal. They're just not. And that's the reality. But it doesn't mean you can never have chocolate. And a good example is I used to always eat this chocolate called Snickers. And I could literally inhale one of them quickly. Like, I loved them. But then I quit refined sugar for 2 months. And when I went back to have one of these chocolates, I could hardly keep one bite down, and I gave the chocolate away. It was too sweet and tasted so processed. So it just showed me how your taste buds can change. So when it comes to chocolate, you know, dark chocolate is actually really good for you. Dark chocolate with nuts, great. Like that, I mean, it really is good for you. So I would always suggest, like, try and move your way up the dark chocolate cycle, you know? Start with like 50% dark chocolate. You can get a really nice one. And slowly, as you get used to it, try 55, you know? And when you're picking things like chocolates or, I don't know, something else, some other treats, try and focus on quality. You know, if you're going to get a yogurt, get a really quality yogurt. You know, if you're going to get a chocolate, get a quality chocolate. Or biscuits, get some really delicious biscuits with really good ingredients in them. You know, focus on the quality and still enjoy your indulgences. You know, if you're going to have chocolate, don't feel bad about it. If you're going to have it, enjoy it.
Yeah, I love that. It's very important to really have the nice emotions with our food that we are putting to our body, to really have it processed within our digestion as it should be, right?
Totally. And that's the thing. It's like we, especially when you start getting into eating healthier, it can be quite a mindset shift that you kind of feel guilty. Oh my gosh, I can never eat white bread or white pasta or pastries, or what is this life about if you can't eat pastries? And I mean, I love pasta, I love pizza, I love sandwiches, I love all those things, but I just, I love saying this 80-20 rule in my head, and it doesn't need to be a rule, but I try to eat really healthy and whole, so no processed foods most of the time. And I found that over time, I don't enjoy the processed foods as much. Even if I have a fruit juice that is bad quality, it doesn't taste that nice. Whereas I want a fresh juice,
Yes, I see.
So you shift your way. It's like this weird thing how, they've got these taste flavor specialists that find that bliss point, and they make processed foods as sweet as is necessary so that we become addicted. So there is like an addiction to these kinds of processed foods that's hard, and you feel like, what's wrong with me? My hand's back in the cookie jar. But if you start picking healthier versions of, say, those cookies or the chocolate, you can shift your taste buds and your desires in a healthier direction, step by step.
Yeah, and then just simply listen to your body, what it actually tells you what to eat, and yeah.
And it is this ebb and flow like journey as well, which is always nice to embrace. Like, health is not like, okay, I'm eating healthy now, that's it. I'm exercising 4 days a week forever, that's it. It's life ebb and flows, and you've got to be like adaptable and open up to the fact that this healthy journey to better balance is lifelong. So life is long, and you're going to ebb and flow. Things are going to come up. You're going to have a bad week, a good week. You might jump in the gelato tub after a terrible day. It's okay. Like, it's okay. Be like, well, that happens. Have a little laugh, and then eat your healthy bowl of oats in the morning and carry on, and start keep pushing towards that healthier balance, but with love and compassion, and also letting yourself enjoy the good life, the sweet life too, in your own way,
Yes, absolutely. Now I'm wondering, especially as you have mentioned that of course it is a flow within our days and our lives. How would you say some maybe tips when we are really stressed out and having this kind of really difficult day? What can we do to come back to our balance, to maybe stay or pause for a moment? What would be your suggestions to calm the really stressed out moments?
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, I've always felt like, I've needed to just accept that idea that I have a choice as to how I feel. So if I'm, stressing out and getting overwhelmed and just, it's all too much, and there's this whole list, and I'm now running late, and, you get into that spin, it's actually just taking a moment to stop. For a moment, just to stop. Sometimes it's good to actually go outside or just step away from the vehicle, as I like to say, like step away, and just go and take a moment, close your eyes if you can, and just take a big, deep breath. Sometimes that's all you need to do to just kind of center yourself, to start thinking clearer, because you get like swept up in this in the emotions of it all, and you sort of lose the practical, logical side. So I feel like the minute you just stop and you take a deep breath, a couple deep breaths would be better. You just take a breath and be like, okay, just, the world is not going to crumble if I take 1 minute out to just breathe.
Yes.
And from that place, you can start to think, okay, how am I feeling? Start to almost put your logical brain on. How am I feeling? Like, why am I stressed out about this? Because often we get stressed out of fear or expectation. We're stressing about work project, but we choose how we feel. So whether we're busy or not, we don't need to stress about it. Like we can be busy without being stressed. So there's an interesting thing where it's like you can shift your emotions, and in that moment of stillness, when you stop, you can decide how you want to feel. So sometimes, say if I'm stressed about something, I'll stop and I'll just take a few breaths and I'll think, okay, I'm feeling stressed and overwhelmed. Why? I kind of talk myself out of it a bit, you know. I've got too much going on. Okay, well, maybe I should, you know, take something off my calendar, you know, clear out my calendar a little bit. We don't always need to be doing everything that's on our calendar. We can put some things in the parking lot for later. You know what I mean? Like even the VIP parking lot. But you got to be brave to do that, you know, and prioritize in your life. Because the less stuff you have in your life going on, the more space you have to breathe and do the things that are important. So if you are stressed, it's good to just stop and pause, but then also to think, how do I want to feel? How can I change how I feel? So you might be, oh my God, I'm so scared. I'm doing this presentation. I'm so stressed out. You can be like, okay, I'm scared because it's new, but I believe in myself. I'm going to do this, and whatever happens, happens. If it works out, it's right for me. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Like, you know, to give yourself a little pep talk.
Yes.
And then it might be time to actually look at your calendar and think, you know, what is really important to me and what can I actually let go of for a bit so I can create more space. Because when you pack, I used to pack things like one appointment after the other, and you have no time to, you know, process or think. So clearing out your calendar is actually a really, really big one. And it's that whole idea of, oh my God, if I do less, I'm worth less. I'm less of a person. But it's like, it's quality over quantity at the end. So that's something you want to train yourself to do. Is like, what is really important? Can I do 4 things today really well instead of 100 things that I'm just literally jumping from thing to thing, you know? So that's definitely something to pause in those moments.
Yes. Thank you very much for mentioning that. I think that the cluttering of the mind and of the calendar and everything, it's really important, especially in these days if we have just tons of tasks to do and still in the same space, staying at home maybe or something like that. It's very, very important. Yeah,
and you know, there is that thing where it's like, you know, when you clean out your house, like you declutter, you clean out all your old clothes, or you get the house cleaned or something, there's a sense of new energy and space, you know. And the thing is, like, the same applies to your environment, to your body, to your mind. You need to like clear that space, like, and with the mind, it's definitely journaling for me. Each to their own. But when I've got a lot going on in my mind and I'm feeling overwhelmed and you know, nothing is starting to make sense and I'm feeling stressed, I'll get out my journal and I'll empty out my mind onto the journal. And it's therapeutic because you're getting all that stuff out and you start to see reason, you start to kind of figure out the way forward because it's not swirling around in your head, it's kind of on paper. So that's like the decluttering of the mind. And then with that, you can breathe more and meditate and do yoga and all that stuff. But I often find journaling is one of the first places. And then decluttering your space. Get rid of stuff. Have a clean desk. You know, like clear out the stuff you don't need because it creates, it takes away that sense of calm in your environment. And then decluttering the body. That's the whole detox process, you know. It's like not eating the junk, eating stuff that actually just nourishes you, you know. Except, of course, for that chocolate, but then it can be
the dark one.
The dark one, you know, at least 50%. I mean, give it a go, you know. And start just looking at ways to fill up on the good stuff. Instead of focusing on everything you shouldn't be doing, like fill up on the good stuff. How can you add more joy, more good food, more movement, more sleep, like all of the good stuff, and let those crowd out the bad stuff. The bad stuff.
Yes. Yes, I like all these insights really a lot. So I think that we might just leave everyone at this point. I think it's amazing. I would like to still highlight the sentence that we all have a choice and we can just pause and decide which way to go and how can we help ourselves. So it's amazing. And Sian, I know that you are offering also the free health consultation. Can you speak a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I am a health coach, and the program I do is called Less Stress, More Joy. And it's all about helping, especially ambitious, busy, probably stressed out people shift into a space where they can create a more nourishing balance in their lives. So it looks at all kinds of things, from eating balanced foods to self-talk and your relationship with yourself, to all kinds of personalized tips and setting meaningful goals. It's all about creating a life that actually is nourishing and joyful instead of stressed and not really mindful. So yeah, it's a 6-month program, and yeah, I'm just offering a free complimentary 1-hour health history session where you can get a taste for what it's like to be listened to in a safe space, and you can get a taste for what one-on-one coaching is like, and yeah, we can get to chat about your wellness goals and challenges.
Yeah, wonderful. So thank you very much, and thank you for your time. And I will be just very happy to meet you again some other time. So
Yes, I would love
more joy
to.
to everyone.
I would love that. It's just like, and that's one of the biggest things. It's like health is not about a to-do list. It's about feeling good. And when you put yourself first, and your self-love and self-care first, then you can shift. You can. I think that's the first step, is to know that you can be happy and peaceful and balanced. You can. It's possible.
Yes, wonderful. Thank you. Thank you very much. And you have a joyful, wonderful day.
You too. Thank you so much, Radka.